Wee! Oh, that's a massive slice of pizza. Nice. What's up, everybody?
You cold opened yourself this
I
time.
did cold open myself. Nobody was doing anything funny, and then I just saw this massive slice of pizza.
You said we. I knew what we were getting into.
True. This is true. I did kind of give you guys more heads up than normal. Hey, what's up, TPK Roleplay? We are back with Queen's Gambit. This is a Tyranny of Dragons campaign.
I need roll 20.
What's that?
Oh, I'm not.
It's one of those days. We started late. It took forever to get here. My apologies for that. It's one of those days.
It's a cursed stream, but we're working on it.
One big blooper reel. Here we go. So we're playing the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. This is D&D 5th edition based on the module, but with a whole bunch of extra stuff too. So let's go around real quick and have everybody introduce themselves and their characters. And then we'll get right into a quick recap and get the ball rolling. Heck.
All right, hey guys, it's me, Sir Heckalot. As per usual, I'm playing Aster, the Shifter Druid, Circle of Wildfire, and she just had a fun, maybe not so fun experience seeing visions in a garden. So we're gonna see what happens after that. Let's keep on keeping on.
Woot. I'm Nif. I'm playing Eliseo, the Time Wizard, Asamar. It's beanie weather, so I'm so excited, and it's onesie weather. I'm so excited. I'm feeling so cozy. Eliseo is not. They are a disaster, and I'm so excited. I might get books. I want books.
Oh, no. Hi, it's me, Hyacinth. I'm playing Icarus, the Elven Bardlock Twin 1 or 2, Twin 2. Yeah, he's just keeping on. Maybe gonna do some research. She had a big revelation last time because he's stupid, so that's fun.
Yay, stupid! It's me, Corndog McGraw. I am twin number 1. Juno, the Twilight Domain cleric. That took a second. I found it. Don't worry. Here to heal people if I feel like it. Off to you, Chrissy.
I'm Chrissy Kritz, and I'll be playing Ulta Cragmaw, our Swarmkeeper Ranger, Kobold friend.
All right. Short and sweet. I love it. And I'm Dat Magic Juice. Somebody put me in charge of this. So here we are.
We're your clouder.
Yes, I am a shepherd, and this is my lovely clouder. So we're in Waterdeep after a whole bunch of travel and some events that have led into a lot of deep lore and information and what's going on here in general. And in our last session, we had a whole bunch of exchange with Volothamp Geddarm, the halfling wizard, author, eccentric guy who seems to be a sort of central point of contact for all of the factions, minus the one that we know is kind of like off doing its own thing, and it's not great for everybody else. Generally, where's my note? He reveals a known scheme that is now in our laps to basically find a collective hidden treasure underneath Waterdeep. For two main reasons. The first is that we want this, if it exists, to fund the faction's collective efforts against the Cult of the Dragon widespread across the Sword Coast, and if we can find some evidence of a scheme by the Zhentarim to collect this treasure for their own purposes, which may or may not be involved with the Cult of the Dragon itself, we may be able to also reveal some of that evidence and hopefully gain the favor and assistance of the Council of Waterdeep in this overall fight the Dragon Cult effort. He does also reveal that we're not the only group of people involved with the faction's activities. He mentioned a scouting party going north which is an area that we've had mentioned before about shit's going down, what's going on. And then there's another party that we actually witnessed going into the portal into the Undermountain of Waterdeep. So we've got evidence and witness now of, other groups are involved with the things that are going on around us. After all of that, we have some shenanigans at the tavern. That was fun. We had some drinks and a little bit more interaction with Volo there. And then I think after that, we basically spent the night. And then the next morning, led off with taking Aster. Well, everybody's there, but Aster's goal of getting to a natural space to try and interact with it. And you did get some information. You had a sort of melding with this hero's garden, and were able to glean that basically confirmation that the area to the north has this illness spreading, and it's very concentrated to the north and spreading from that area, as well as for whatever reason this particular garden seems unaffected by that. Even though, and piecing that together with areas even to the south, you had witnessed this sickness spreading. It's kind of like this pure spot in the middle. That's the gist of what I got from last time. Is there anything else you guys want to add or correct? If we need to correct anything.
I mean, Seymour had a great time.
Seymour did have a great time. Checking out the other trees and interacting with them as well.
Do trees have play dates?
Apparently they just did.
So?
So we're at the garden at this point then, and I believe Aster has basically finished what she wanted to do. Is that okay? So we're still in the morning, and you have the day ahead of you. So what's happening?
Were we headed to the library? I thought we had a destination next.
I just wanted to go to a place where I could copy spell scrolls. That's all I wanted.
We were told that we weren't needed until this evening, too, so there is that.
Right.
I was gonna do research, and then you guys kind of made me feel dumb and told me I didn't need to do research.
You should still do research.
I mean, you
should
could
still,
definitely try.
You should
Oh, yeah.
still try.
Yeah.
So are you both heading to the libraries then, or are you doing some different kind of research?
Well, I think we were just gonna head to the library after the garden, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So I'll just awkwardly fiddle my thumbs, in the back of the garden, waiting for everyone. I'm just kind of quiet, but also thinking.
So Ulta will kind of step up and so there's 2 different libraries to choose from, folks. 3, I guess, maybe?
3, correct.
You tell me which you would want. A font, a paragon, or a crescent?
Paragon sounds nice. What does the Paragon have to offer?
No idea.
Okay. What are the other
I don't frequent
two?
libraries, Ulta says.
Okay.
Font is a writing word, right?
Crescent could be like a magical word, though. I'm looking for magical
Crescent moon.
resources.
Fever, let's go to Crescent.
There's the font of knowledge, the paragon, magic, what is this word? Athenium?
Athenium, yes.
Fuck yeah.
Woo!
And the crescent moon Athenium.
Let's go to the Crescent Moon Athenium. That sounds
All right.
good stuff and sexy.
That
Yeah.
look from Chrissy made me feel like I was in trouble. Magic, what is this word?
No, I just was trying to figure out the phonetics of it.
Yeah.
And I've had some drinks, so.
As we should. No, it's all good. I'm just teasing. So did you guys have a preference?
We were gonna head to the Crescent Moon, so I will start walking towards the castle district.
Castle District.
which is, I believe, like south of this area.
Yeah,
Right?
way south. I will move the token and then get you guys down here.
Where the Hawkman is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoop. There we go.
Made it.
Okay. So
List.
Thank you.
most of the buildings in this area are of more ornate nature than the more residential areas. So it's actually kind of difficult to point out the library itself versus other buildings around. But Alta knows where it is, so that's not a big deal. And you went to this one. All right. Doing anything specific, or you just kind of are we fast tracking this, Niffer, or are you trying to do any sort of
I
specific?
just want to find spell scrolls that I can copy.
Okay.
I don't need anything else. I just want more spells, please.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Magic, deliver me magic, please.
well, it won't be quite that simple, but Sinwiwawe, which is the actual name, CYNWY space WHAWE, is a halfling woman who's dressed as a noble and will point you toward the magical studies section of the library. She will also point out that while they do not house spell scrolls due to the potential dangers of people using them when they should not be, you would be able to find information you may seek about efficiently copying spells and or
Yes, I
crafting your
want
own. Okay.
I can do crafting my own. I want to copy spells. I want somebody else to do the work for me, please.
Mm-hmm. So you will find that the library itself does not contain spells you can actually copy. It would be information about how to do that and related activities, so we could put some points toward your skills. But actual scrolls, they're usually you'd probably be able to piece you'd be able to piece together that if a library, especially as big as this one, wouldn't contain actual spell scrolls, then you'd be able to piece together it's usually the individual people that make them that would have them, or the people that they've sold them to.
Does the library perhaps have a list of here are our wealthy and famous wizards that are residing in this city? Go to their houses and ask if you can copy their work.
Possibly. Let's say yeah.
Yay! We're gonna
Improv.
visit some people and be like, "Hi, don't mind me coming into your house. I just want to copy all the hard work that you did."
Yeah.
Yellow pages.
Yeah, can I have the yellow pages? Find me the smartest wizards in town.
I'm making a note. I will also need you to make this note,
make
Niffer,
this note.
because 2 is better than 1. I owe
That's a
you.
good return for their labor. You owe me?
I owe you 2 wizard names.
You owe me 2 wizards. I get 2 whole wizards, all to myself.
Can I keep them?
I will keep them.
Okay. Can you do me a personal solid and let's make that happen after a break?
Yes. Listen, that doesn't even have to happen on stream. It's not going to be a ton of flavor. It's just going to
Fair.
be, I want spell scrolls. Nice to meet you. Give
There
me
you go.
your money.
All right, cool. So that's happening. Did you want to spend any time with the study aspect to work toward your crafting?
I want to copy the spell scrolls that they have. I can craft on my own.
Yes, but the study aspect of guaranteeing points, you don't want to do
Okay.
that at all?
Yeah, I guess I should.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much more clear he has to be in the whole you're not gonna get it totally for free aspect yet.
It is
but
expensive
I
to be a
know.
wizard.
It very much is.
I appreciate you
Fancy.
trying, though.
You wouldn't know if you didn't ask, so I'm not.
Absolutely. Nip's
Listen,
like, no, just do the things for me. And I'm like, I appreciate that gusto.
listen, you never know if you don't try.
Yep, just like I said, you wouldn't know if you didn't ask. It's all good.
Besides, you just have to ask enough times that they get fed up with you and say, fine. This is the philosophy of being a youngest child.
Well, I'm not in the business of saying no, as much as I
Exactly.
can. And
You also aren't in the business of saying yes.
I'm in the business of the gray area in between.
I know.
And the more variations of I'm attempting a thing that you guys give me, then the more opportunities we have to do the yes and thing. So, I owe you a couple wizard names
Great.
that the librarian essentially would have given you right then and there, so you
Right.
have them. What else?
Is it my turn for research?
Yeah, I was like, well, Icarus also followed me into this library. So I'm going to be like, yes, hi, I would like points of contact from which to learn more spells and also teach me how to learn better wizard. And also, my brother-in-law here would like a picture book.
Okay.
I'm going to look for the alphabetical section because I do not know how to find anything else. And then in that alphabetical section, I will look to C for Cori. Cori.
Oh,
So
okay.
you really are looking for picture books, aren't you?
I have a goal.
Maybe some calendars.
I'm not.
what?
I don't know how libraries are organized. I've never been in one before.
How?
We probably have one at home
Yeah, like, have you been to our house?
that has
Because I
like
have.
millennia of books.
Yeah, but I don't know how you sort it.
Solid point, because how one particular group of elves may have sorted their own collection may be different from a public.
Locate object is how we sort in this house.
There you go.
I feel
Okay.
like at some point when Juno brought Eliseo over, Eliseo looked at the library and was like, that won't do, and rearranged it like in an actual order.
And that was the week that Eliseo was almost kicked out of the Elven Grove.
There's a good written backstory for the Patreon kind of dealio right there. There you go. Okay, so that's happening with Eliseo and Hyacinth. You're checking out. You're trying to look for like just a book called Cori.
Well, I'm looking for a section about Cori, but yes,
Okay.
I am just attempting to look in the best way where I think it might be.
Okay. So you can make an investigation check. DC is going to be pretty low because there's things you know.
My Beyond 20 is on. Investigation.
Why is this so quiet? Are you guys hearing this ambience?
I hear like blacksmithing noise and maybe some swords.
Okay.
I got a 19! That's as close as I can get, so I go crazy.
Nice. Okay. So you would remember some conversations with your sister and other folks in the group that this person may or may not be a deity of sorts. So you're gonna head over to the what do we call it? The divines section.
I scooch over from C to D, realizing I'm not going to find what I'm looking for.
And within the sections, you would quickly notice that everything is organized alphabetically by title of the book. Anything with the or a at the beginning is not counted toward the alphabetization. Did I say that right? You know what I meant.
Yeah. I got it.
And the librarian approaches you as you're sort of checking this out and asks, is there anything I can help you with?
Yep, I'm looking for a book specifically on Cori, like as highlighted on him as possible.
Cori who?
Oh, Eliseo, what'd you say his actual name was?
Corellin.
Corellin. Sorry, we were on a first name basis.
Ah, yes.
Corellin is his first name.
Yes, of course. And she'll take you to a few books that are generally entitled things about the divines. I don't have book titles. I'm sorry. there will be several that basically outline
Corellin for dummies. Please, can one of them be Corellin
There
for
you go.
dummies?
Major Gods for Dummies. We can do that. There you go.
Would they be like deity books that have a small section on him, or like are there any that are like elven deities specifically or specifically him?
So you'd find one easily enough that has that is sectioned off by races of the world and their sort of pantheons of their own. So that would probably be the biggest set of information you'd be able to find.
Okay. Thank you. Can I check these books out? What's your return policy? Is it 2 weeks? I think that's pretty typical.
3 days actually, free of charge.
Eliseo, I need you to read these for me. I can't
I'm
read that quick.
busy.
No, like we have days, but I just can't read that quick. I know
Fine.
you're reading.
So you're reading yourself, right? What are you looking for specifically? Or are you just getting info that you can?
Me? Just info. I don't know if I have any specific questions, but maybe my only question would be like how to properly worship this deity, because I'm like, do I worship him? Are we just buds? Like, what do I have to do?
Interesting.
My sister like pulls pranks and stuff, but like that doesn't really seem like his thing. But like, she also kind of prays, which also doesn't seem like his thing. But like, I don't know. But other than that, I'm just gonna make Eliseo read it for me.
Okay.
Heavy skin.
This is called speed studying. So
Is there a cliff note?
there would be a cliff note. No, there would not. That was an out of game note from me. We can do a cliff note. So you wouldn't really find anything that specifically outlines how to like gain or keep his favor. Which is generally what worshiping would be understood to do, or at least that would be the intent of worship. But you do find a few pieces of information that you could piece together would probably put you on his good side, so to speak. So most of his worshippers are elves and their descendants, as well as many bards, regardless of race. So you're hitting two of the sort of favorable aspects so far. You do catch wind of a holy day at the quarter moon. That people would gather around objects and places that they themselves consider to be beautiful, and basically just like talk with other people and generally praise him in a sort of outward way. Another aspect would be basically always trying to better yourself and learn as much as you can from the people around you, while also preserving nature.
So Eliseo has to teach me.
She doesn't necessarily have to. It's more along the lines of your desire and effort to learn, rather than.
I will learn, but I don't know if I want to ask them to teach me.
I feel like it's gonna be like a bedtime story thing where I just like read you your book, except you don't fall asleep. So it's gonna be I read you your book until I fall asleep.
I dig it.
Okay. Anything else for you?
No. Ooh, well, this isn't in the library, but I have a question for later in the day.
Okay.
I would like to go to a shop at one point, like a fancy writing shop.
Fancy writing shop. Okay.
Paper and pens.
I have a shop for that.
Did you know there's an shop for that?
Yeah, just enter it on Yelp.
Are we done at the library? Ulta zoned out at the library. She started just. You lost her attention.
You didn't have to come with. You could have stayed in the garden.
She's fine.
Okay.
She's just. I'm wondering if we're done or not. No rush.
I mean, I got my list of names.
Excuse me.
All right. She will turn to Icarus and go, "Are you done with your picture books?"
Yeah, but I took them.
Okay, cool.
You
That
told
allowed?
someone that you took them, right?
I probably would have been smarter not to.
No, you might want to tell him.
No, I did tell them because I asked how long I could take it for. But if I didn't tell them, then I could take it for longer in theory.
Or we
theory.
could never come back to Waterdeep.
Right? You don't know the rules, so you just break it. I mean, don't break it.
So, here's my question. How long can you have your books?
3 days.
Okay. Are we still going to be here in 3 days?
Who knows?
You
Are
will
you
probably have to return them early.
LSA
Or late, and you're paying the late fees, because that's not coming out of our pocket.
We will drop them off right before we leave town. It'll be like the morning errands before we leave.
Okay. All right, Dad.
Are there like book boxes over town? No.
So, I will, you said, like a fancy shop for writing, like with parchments and quills and all the things. Ulta will kind of like do one of those and start heading towards the trade ward to a place called the Serene, which is a spell and magic item crafting shop, but I would assume they would also have plenty of parchment and things.
That sounds sick. LSA would like that too, I think.
Yes. And she will glance at Juno and go, "Juno, do you need anything?"
No, I think I will go to the City of the Dead if anyone wants to come with.
Oh, I will, but there's
Actually,
also...
something interesting.
Yeah, I'll totally do that. But there is a temple to the Moonweaver.
Oh, where's that?
It's in the Sea Ward.
And here we are experiencing real time, ladies and gentlemen, what trying to prep this city is like.
Yep. Welcome to Waterdeep.
Just kidding. I will go the opposite direction.
No, I'm
None of that happened. I am going to go to the Temple of the Moonweaver. In fact, I went there before we even came to this library from hell. I was there the whole time. If you would like to come with me, Aster, we do not have to be here. We can go there instead. I also want to go to the Lady Dreaming. Why? Because that sounds like a vibe thing, and I, Courtney, see it on the map. So I want to do it as Courtney. I don't know that Juno would.
I feel like Juno would also just hear the name of it and be like, "That's a vibe I need to attend."
Hello, I would like to wake her up.
Oh my god.
So...
That sounds good. I would love to join.
Okay.
If you want to, Alta, we'll just be at the temple books aren't for me.
They're not quite for me either, but I want to make sure they get there in one piece.
That makes sense. Yes, that makes sense.
So we will do a lot of hiking, and I will draw an extremely detailed map for both parties. In the off chance any of us get separated to an umpteenth degree rather than just two separate places.
What?
Should we plan on
you
meeting
wouldn't
back at the
split
Yawning Portal?
party.
That's what I was gonna say. With a big ol' mark on it for the Yawning Portal, in the off chance that we really end up in a pickle, we have a general meeting place that we all know.
Horrendous vows.
Okay. So we're splitting the party. And did we say that you guys are doing that while the library stuff is happening, or are Eliseo and Hyacinth joining one group or another?
I would say I probably drew the map while at the library, and we all
Okay.
went to the library together, and then I was like, oh, if you guys are going to head to the temple, this is your extremely very detailed map, and I definitely didn't leave anything off of it, and
Okay.
here's where the Yawning Portal is, just in case you need to know.
I would say in the amount of time that Eliseo and Icarus, excuse me, were working on their things, that could definitely happen within reason. So Eliseo, let's have you mark 4 additional skill points toward your spellcrafting.
Nice. Thank you. You're very gracious.
And then Icarus, you got what you were going for. Okay, so somebody's going to the temple now. That's at least Juno, and did we say Aster?
Yee.
Okay. Anyone else?
And I'm walking with Eliseo and Icarus to the Serene.
Okay.
But I am also making a map, just in the off chance, just in case.
I'm going to
in
say you were
case.
able to do that start to finish before we split.
Cool.
At least with enough detail that, like, it works out. I'm not going to... We don't need to mess around with that. So let's go over to the folks going to the temple. And... Seaward. I am so glad we did that. Whee! Way up here.
There we go. I was like, I don't see it. Now I do.
Yeah, we just have to get like dragged in the direction. Aha.
There we go. Yep. I'll zoom it in a little bit for stream. And within this particular area of this district, you can see that there are actually a few temple-like buildings around. They have a little bit of distinction from everything else around them. And you can tell that they're intended to be holy sites, and there are a bunch. So you could piece together that there's no, like, 1 or 2 sort of paths followed within the city. Being a monolatry, that shouldn't be too surprising. Darn it. Here we go. Boop. All right, so you go to the temple. What's the goal here? What are we trying to do at the temple?
I mean, really just vibe, hang out, spend some quality time with my deity, figure out, like, what the fuck is going on in the world.
Okay.
Doesn't even necessarily need to be on track. Just a check-in, how you doing?
Okay.
My beautiful Moonweaver. What is happening? Why am I here? You know, just all the existential questions that we need answering on a regular basis.
Okay.
Am I really alive? Is this, in fact, just a simulation?
Are we in the Matrix?
I just
Is this
watched
the
that
real
movie for
life?
the first time through last weekend. I always stopped at the acupuncture scene. It was very hard to get through, but I had someone who coached me through like when I could look at the screen.
There you go.
Each time the body horror stuff stopped because I am weak. I am soft. I am delicate.
All good. Everybody has their thing. Okay, so this House of the Moon is the temple that you're at, and when you walk in, what is a sight that you might be expecting? This would be fun.
If it's anything like her own temple, the feeling is the feeling of like a crisp morning, like when you first walk out and you're like, Jesus Christ, I wish I brought a coffee with me. So it feels like kind of chilly within it, but it's meticulously cleaned. At least it was where she was from, mainly because there were so many clerics that like temples were always kept clean. That was part of your training. So she'd be expecting it to be clean, cool, and very dimly lit. So much so that it would like appear closed if you were not aware of whose temple it was. Like normal passerbys would just be like, that temple exists, but it is never open. What the hell? But it is. It's got those late night, early morning vibes before the sun or after the sun.
Okay. Can you behave, Roll20?
Nah.
Imagine.
I say no.
The name of the song is Wild.
Yeah, but it's not. You stink.
I know, but I tried, man.
I'm gonna try it one more time, and if it's not gonna go, then it's not gonna go. That's fine.
I was hearing it.
You were?
Yeah, I heard it too.
Mm-hmm. It's very soft, but I like it.
I like it like that.
That's so weird. Okay, if you can hear it, then the stream still can't hear it. Bummer. Okay, well I'm gonna let it play so you guys still get the vibe. And then this is going on in the background, so that works. So the vibe you get is actually not too far off from what you were expecting. It's a very quiet atmosphere. There are several other people around of all sorts of races, and nobody really approaches you at all. There's like a main shrine at the what I'll call the back of this main room. There's a couple of side rooms that you can see a few people sort of like, in some cases talking with each other, in some cases like alone, like head bowed, facing away. They're sort of in their own method of prayer sort of thing. And there's actually a variation across several different people. You see one that is sort of like on a mat on their knees, and they sort of sit up for a few seconds, and then they'll sort of bow down and put their head on the ground for a few more seconds, and then come back up in this sort of ritualistic manner. Others are simply sitting like on a bench or a stool within the area, and sort of in their own world, and several other manners of sort of doing their own what I'll call rituals of worship. So but there's plenty of spaces around. If you're looking for like a pew type of setup, there would be a few of those in the front toward a main altar to the Moonweaver, and then otherwise it's sort of like an open space and it's a little scattered as far as activity goes.
I think Juno would like naturally just start like tending to random things that didn't look like meticulously cleaned, and just like very reverently, not to be like, ugh, gross, but just kind of like go into what she spent 200 years doing.
Okay.
And just like trying to take care of the shrine before like finally just sitting on the floor in front of the front pew and just taking time to be quiet. It's been a hot minute since there's been just pure quiet.
Okay.
Traveling in caravans and stuff. Like they haven't really had like a minute. Like she just got to spend time with her spouse the night previous after like being in wagons, being in groups and stuff like that. She has missed time alone. And like even though Aster's there, she's like giving Aster a wide berth and just not really acknowledging anyone before sitting down and attempting to meditate and just like be grateful for the Moonweaver, but also just wondering what the fuck is going on. How do we find treasure under a city? Is this treasure cursed? Why should we even go after it? Like she's trying to figure out why she needs to help the Council of Waterdeep, because right now it's just because some loud person that her spouse is devoted to said, you should do this. I'm going to help you do this. And it's just, she is very apathetic about like the normal goings on in the world. And she's trying to find a reason to be less so, because she's a snooty elf and the world will continue on. She's lived through a couple hundred years. It'll figure it out. So just trying to find a way to care about this right now is what she would be doing.
Okay.
And also like just keeping like an open question about, hey, did you know that my brother was talking to Corey?
My God.
Okay.
God.
That's a lot of good stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
I love
so
it.
there's a lot that she's asking, but she is hopefully spending as much time there as they can until Aster's like, hello, it's evening. Let's leave this place.
All right. Let's pause while I mull that over for a moment, and go to Aster. Aster, what are you doing during this time that Juno's sort of shuffling around a little bit, being busy for a few minutes, and then eventually settles down in a spot to sort of meditate in the way that she described?
Yeah, so Aster immediately recognizes just kind of the distance that Juno is taking in this moment, and decides to just respect that and kind of like more stay in the background, not like be like too close in vicinity to anyone that like obviously seems very focused on their rituals or whatever they're doing in the temple, and she's just kind of there to observe.
Okay.
And yeah, just kind of like observe the customs and the aesthetics, for lack of a better word, of just like kind of, I guess, the vibe for worship of the Moonweaver, because I don't think she's ever been to a temple in general.
Sure.
So she's just kind of observing all of that, and based on what she's heard of Juno receiving visions and signs of different things from her deity, kind of reflecting on her own at least future possible role of being the moon speaker of her tribe, and interpreting dreams and visions for her people. And once Juno is done with her thing, she'll probably follow up and ask questions about that, but we can save that for later.
Okay. All right. So, Aster, you would, being observant in that respect, you would notice a few, the ritualistic activities I was describing earlier, in a lot of ways are not too different from what you would have observed from people in your circle, in your home. I'm using the word ritual a lot. I just don't have better words. I'm sorry. But like the actual rituals, both in demeanor and motions and time that the druids would have spent in order to like actively pay their respects to nature. And in some cases, like gain something from it. In some cases, like rituals to strengthen or obtain their magical powers in the first place, or attune to specific items that had been made for them by the other druids in the tribe. So a lot of the activities that are happening in this temple sort of look very similar to all of that, even though you can tell that they don't end up producing the exact same results. It's kind of like a Venn diagram of activity to outcome sort of look going on. Juno, you end up actually going into what I can only call your trance. Even though you might not have intended to. But you're actually like more aware and conscious than in your actual like full resting trance. But you get a whole smattering of sort of chaotic images flashing by, like a view of the universe sort of thing. Like you're just flying through space and stars and planets are flying by your head, and it's what is going on. But the moment you get toward that thought, what is going on and why should I care? You actually see this image of the Moonweaver like shoot right in front of your face, and this beautiful figure is now in front of you with her eyes closed, and she's actually holding in her arms 2 moons. And she's not speaking to you in any way, but you have this sort of like thought exchange with her. And you ask her various questions, and in some cases she doesn't really respond much. In those cases, you can tell she's straining. She feels stressed. And then you sort of mirror that. You're feeling a similar strain, a similar stress. And then you come back to the phrase over and over, what do I do? A couple more images end up sort of floating in front of you. She dissipates as if like a rock hit water, and she sort of ripples away. And then another image comes to you of basically the bird's eye view of Waterdeep. And then you zoom down into one particular room in a castle that shows a whole amalgamation of people around a long table. And you feel a repeat feeling of that same stress. What do we do? That image then ripple effects away again into a similar long table, but with much more eccentrically decorated beings. And one of them is the Moonweaver. You'd be able to tell that this is essentially a sort of visualization of a gathering of several gods. And they're all acting and discussing with each other. You can't hear any words or specific phrases or anything, but they're sort of acting in the same way as the image before, with all the people around their table. That they are trying to figure out a plan for something. And then the Moonweaver comes to you again herself and says, our ability to intervene is limited, but the calamity will be great. You and Eliseo play key parts in a solution.
Sorry, that was me and Eliseo, not me and Icarus.
Correct.
I mean,
She never liked me anyways. Just like
She
my
doesn't know you.
I'm sure she does, but okay.
You're hanging out with someone who she's a consort to. She probably despises you. It's fine.
Actually, I like me better.
Really quick question before this disappears, my lady. Which one at that table was Corey?
She would actually point you back toward that image and sort of zoom toward an elegant elven man who wields a crazy decorative crossbow and a few other very decorative like robes with like one leather shoulder pad, and like this elven man who seems like he's prepared for battle, but he's got this poise and demeanor, and the feeling you get from him is not unlike the holy divine feeling that you get from the Moonweaver herself.
Do you like him? Do you think he's an okay person?
He is a god, of course.
All right. What is the role LSAO and I are supposed to play?
You'll get that feeling of stress again.
Sick.
And
that.
she'll say,
Great.
that remains to be seen. And that is part of our trouble. The Dragon Queen has much influence over Faerun at the moment. Too much. And we fear that whatever plan she has could work and bring ruin to your world.
All right, I'm gonna try to shoot my shot with this. Do you know where we could find
You asking for Sparrow?
Asbaro Jones? I have a prank I want to pull. I think it's Jones.
Is it Jones?
Joyce. Joyce.
Yeah, it's like
Jose.
Jose.
Sorry, I very quickly
Oral
looked at that
Jose.
page of notes and then wanted to flip away
Where
from it.
can we find Osmosis Jones?
There we go.
Where is Osmosis Jones?
Um,
And if you don't know, you can get back to me in a couple days.
she'll actually hit this mixed feeling of almost panic, but also I don't think I have a good word for this. I need words. Can I just like sleep on a dictionary in thesaurus for a few nights and just absorb it?
If only.
That's how that works, right?
I wish.
So it like panic, stress on one side, but at the same time, like an aha, like she's surprised that you know about this person or perhaps what they're associated with, and this sort of vision that you're experiencing will go completely black, and then you'll see an image of Asbara appear in front of you, but he looks a little different than when you saw him. He's wearing the very same robe that he had when you encountered him, but the big difference is he's got this like big peacock style headdress, whereas when you saw him, he was simply wearing like a head cap and covering everything except like the essentials of his face. So he's got this big, ornate, red and gold headdress. And then a few more images pop in beside him and then in front of him. And there's this scattering of other human-esque men and women that are wearing similar robes, similar headdresses. And then she gets to a point of fear. And at the very end, you see a flashing image of a skull. that sort of opens its maw and clamps down on you, and you snap out of your trance.
I'm too young to scry.
Praise the sun.
Oof. Okay. Well, thick.
Oh, I get it, like to die.
No, to scry. I'm just not that powerful yet.
So Aster, you actually during this would have noticed, you know, as you sort of approach Juno, she's actually got her eyes closed, and she's sort of like mouthing some words throughout a couple minutes, but nothing comes out of her mouth. She's just like mouthing a few words, and then you can see her brow getting furrowed on and off as she's, you know, going between like clearly stressed and thinking, and then moments of relief and calming, and then sort of like alternating between those and everything that could happen in between before she sort of like jolts just ever so slightly and is like with it and aware now.
Juno, is everything okay?
No. No, it is not.
Would you care to elaborate on that?
Oh. I can, I guess. And Juno will kind of go through essentially what she just saw, but really take the time to emphasize just like the feeling of like the gods being in a state of distress or concerned about Faerun. And that they seem to have the same questions that she does with, what do I do? How do we make the impact that we need to make? What is the impact? And then I'll mention the Dragon Queen having too much influence already over Faerun, and that we're kind of a bit behind already. And then she'll keep the bit about Asbara to herself because Aster was the one who definitely like preached patience with Asbara, and Juno is still a bit homicidal in that regard. 10 out of 10 would punch in dick. But that's kind of, I think the gods are at a similar point that the people that run Waterdeep are, where no one knows what to do next, but everyone is on edge.
Did they at least say we might be on the right path then?
I think so. Or at least they believe in us. In some regard.
That's all we have to go on, I guess.
Also,
Hopefully,
Aster, if you were a god, wouldn't you just interrupt the world all the time? I would do that. If I had omnipotent powers, I would fuck around with everything. Why are they just sitting there?
I would love to say that I would keep everything in balance and not do that, but that's not true. I would definitely do that. As the words of I'll kind of echo in the back of her head, big as the heart of nature. That's something she's had on the back burner for a while. I would probably interrupt a lot. It actually kind of brings me to something I've been meaning to ask. How does it feel, or what is it like when you receive these visions from the Moonweaver?
Honestly, it's different every time. I don't know if I've ever experienced the same thing twice, despite this going on for about 200 years. But it's kind of like feeling through a funnel. Like, you know there's more, but you're given as much as you can handle in the moment. So they're not going to dump a whole ocean on you, but... Well, I mean, sometimes they might, depending on your god. Moonweaver tends to be a little bit more considerate of her followers' feelings. But sometimes it's peaceful, sometimes it's, how do I prank my brother in a way that I won't get in trouble with my mother or father? Sometimes it's, hey, I really like this person and I think they like me back and I think I'm just going to marry them next week. Do you want to come? And she does. And then other times it's like today, where I could feel her stress. Not sure that it was all of it, but definitely enough to make me actually start to care a little bit more about something other than Sabaro. But... Sorry, Asbara. Oh.
Oh no.
I said his name right. I even looked at the note so I wouldn't say it wrong.
That was correct.
I'm trying to play Dungeons and Dragons. Oop.
I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like coming from at least the natural world or the universe. It's kind of complicated. What's expected of me when I go back to my people is to return as the next moon speaker. It's the spiritual kind of leader of my tribe, and I am sent on this journey to kind of figure out what that means for me specifically, because no journey to find this is really the same. And I'm not really sure how to think about it yet. There's just a lot of unknowns. There's, on one hand, a lot expected of me, but also, on the other hand, just very individualized, very specific. But it's good to hear that there's not really one way, even for one person, to experience these signs or interpret them. So this was very helpful. Thank you.
If you want help, you could also reach out to the Moonweaver. I know that she actually cares about nature, unlike other elven gods. The grove around her shrine where I'm from is probably the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
And
Sure, call it my
I'd love to
god.
see it one day.
He does care about nature.
There's a lot of elven gods. They like to burn. So there's plenty of them. There's like 4 of them that actually care about nature, and everyone else is just like, war!
I mean, yeah.
Knowledge!
This is accurate.
Knowledge! Like,
You are not wrong.
Some of them are dicks.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Okay.
It's starting to get dark. I think we're going to have to reconvene with the others really soon.
A nice stroll through dusk would be lovely right now. Let's start walking back.
All right. We will cut over to Ulta, who's doing other things. I think, did you say during that time?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Ulta will drop Eliseo and Icarus off at the shop
Hell yeah.
and point at the map. You guys know exactly how to get back. I will meet you back there. Don't worry, you got this. You're great at directions. And she will, on her own, dip out and try to quickly find some sort of city archive.
City archive for...
She wants to get an understanding of like the tunnel systems underneath the city.
Oh.
If she can, it's fine. But she's just trying to get like a little bit of an understanding of like, oh, if we head in this direction, we will roughly be about here, and if we need to tell somebody via sending stone.
So the best place for that would probably be the castle itself. Yeah. That's it. That's canon now. So Castle Waterdeep, I'm gonna give you the oh, you already have it. Yep, we already have it. Okay. So I'm gonna move the token down here for you. Boop. So not far from the Yawning Portal is where we're gonna find Ulta. Heading into the castle, and you would actually I should ask this. Are you wearing like your normal attire? Or are you still in the traveling adornments that you've had at this point? What are you doing as far as your outward
I probably would
appearance?
have switched out of like the disguise clothes that we had and slipped back into her normal Waterdeep attire, like with probably like a small emblem of the Lord's Alliance somewhere on it, you know, that sort of thing.
Okay. Okay. Let's actually take a quick break. I've got a couple things to try and reset here because my stuff is not behaving. So yeah, it's good time to take a quick break anyway, and then we'll come back to Ulta trying to get some information about the city itself. We'll be right back. Are we good? Good to know. We're back. What's up, everybody? Okay, so
I'm not surprised.
no, don't worry. I came in after that. That's why I reiterated it. So we had a couple quick things to take care of behind the scenes, and now we're going to iterate it for the audience. Sheesh, words are hard today. Okay. LSAO earlier went into a library to try to get some spell scrolls if she could. Found out that we cannot, but asked for potentially.
They could.
Sorry, I'm so bad at that. I'm desperately sorry. Anywho, they go to the library. We're looking for spell scrolls. Learn that we can't get spell scrolls out of the libraries of Waterdeep. But you did end up getting some study time in, and that helped you out with the potentially crafting aspect of things. But then we also got a couple of names of prominent wizards in potentially the area that could help you out with the whole aspect of getting spell scrolls, or maybe making them quickly, or getting spells from them, that sort of thing. The first of which was Volothamp.
LSAO's childhood hero. It's fine. I just have to go ask my childhood hero, hey, can I maybe copy your notes?
And the other is, the other name they received is Leomund. And you would have been told that Leomund was last known to be sort of inhabiting in seclusion the north. An area known.
One of his tiny huts.
In an area
have I heard of
known.
the spell Lumen's tiny hut before?
We could absolutely
Because
say
I
that you've
could
heard of
do
it.
Oh yeah, we've been using the tiny
Every
hut.
night.
Yeah.
Dang it, yeah. Oh
Yep.
no. I'm
So
gonna come home from the library and be like, hun, Gotta meet the person that made your house.
I made my house.
Okay, but like somebody made the spell that lets you make your tiny house.
That's
and I have
fair.
to go meet them.
So they would have also told you that last they had known, Volo was in the city, confirmed by
I know
recent
where
events.
Volo is. That's fine.
And then Leomund is in a place called the Mirror of Dead Men.
What's he doing there?
Living in seclusion is the last known aspect of his life, at least to that particular person.
He's just pulling a Thoreau. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
He went to the Mayor of Dead Men because he wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life. This is fine.
Okay. Okay, so Ulta is going up to the castle with the intent to find basically like city archives as we're having a breakdown.
Yep. That's what she wants to do, for sure.
All right, so you're going up to the castle, and would you say that you've been here before? This is actually like a gray area of your history that I don't want to fill in for you if I don't have to.
I would say she probably has been there before, but not necessarily on anything beyond like delivering messages or, being there like on business that she was told to be there for. Like it isn't a place that she would have gone to inquire about things like this before or to do anything beyond something she was told to do.
Okay.
So probably not like super familiar, but familiar enough.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself.
We're having a terrible time, guys. It's the worst. Oh, man.
I'm better. I'm okay. Yeah.
So
Just, people are funny,
people are hilarious, including us
We
sometimes.
love you, Twitch. We love you, chat.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. We love you.
Blooper reel for sure. All right, gathering, composure. Heading into the castle, you would meet familiar sights of, the walkway, the narrow walkway leading into the front, and that among other various defensible aspects of the castle, like the big thick walls and the courtyard at the beginning, with not very easy access without walking through a handful of guards to get into any particular section of the castle. But you would know that there is such a sort of like library / archive of both the history of Waterdeep and like its infrastructure overall. In the sort of basement level, we'll call it dungeon level. Don't read into that too much, but you're met with several guards that notice you, and some of them like recognize you, Ulta the person, and others would at least recognize your clothing and this sort of brooch that you have representing the Lord's Alliance, right? You said you were wearing that. So you're basically able to get in without question.
Yeah. So she would try to locate any sort of, I don't want to use the word historic, but it might be the best word. I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard, but I just keep going back. And between our group message and I'm just losing it here. So I would say maybe a historic document might be the best word to describe it. Some sort of explanation of the city prior to it being so built up and so expansive. Because in her tiny kobold brain, whatever was underground was here before the city was built. So just trying to get a little bit more of a heads up of like, if there's any sort of documentation of, back in the day, this is how we got things from underground, and these were some of our mining tunnels and things like that.
Okay. So with the time you're putting in during the rest of the party's activities, and the fact that you have a history with this place, I don't think we really need to do a check for anything. Here's what you're able to find. Overarching history of Waterdeep includes, like way back, it used to be much smaller and a place that was actually inhabited by elves. And for some reason or another, specifics are unknown, at least to documentation here. They just left. And then, we already had the discussion about, at one point there was this clash between gods and, the statues appearing here as a unfortunate side effect of that. We've already been through all that history. And then at one point, humans end up discovering Waterdeep. What is now Waterdeep started as a smaller town and then quickly became a central hub of the Sword Coast, both in trade and in government. And then over the decades, had expanded into what it is now. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to repeat something. What did you say you were looking for as far as the history aspect?
Kind of like any sort of understanding of what was underground. Like, these are the creatures that exist there, or these are the things that you will find there from a historical standpoint. And then if there is any sort of, county engineer who can give me a layout of tunneling.
Okay.
But unlikely, so I won't push it. But
so, yes, I'm pulling something very specific up as I'm trying to say this, and multitasking is killing me right now. The as far as like what's underground aspect, you can find some documentation that sort of outlines a series of events leading to completing the sewage system basically for the city, and that included accidental encounters with some tunnels and caverns that actually already existed, and revealed all manner of creatures. You're asking what kinds? Oh, here we go. Creatures called neolithids. Jesus Christ. Also, various snake-like creatures, crab and scorpion-looking things, a few undead ghosts and wraiths, that sort of thing, like the unfortunate results of souls that died horrible deaths down here, and now they sort of dwell underneath the city for whatever reason or another. Various bats and other, dark dwelling creatures. Really nothing that would be out of the ordinary for underground in general, at least according to this documentation. And then you'd also find some newer reports that you can tell are sort of being compiled real time, so to speak. Like events recorded are very recent about this Undermountain Cavern, which is a stark difference from those other recordings where this is like a series of tunnels and rooms and storerooms and crypts that was like, there's no other explanation that they had been intentionally put there or created or something like that, but there's no explanation or like timeline of when and how. Other than that, you are able to get a sort of general layout of architecture of that sewage system that I mentioned before, along with those documented events of like incidents that happened during construction. And so you got a general layout of that system.
Sure. You would also, if there is any, I don't know if this would be the right place, maybe popping into a different library before heading back, like a history of dragons, like say a certain Tina cat.
Sure. Make what are you just looking for something generic, or are you going for anything specific at all?
I would probably say she would be on the hunt for anything relating to the tiny dragon she has in her pocket and its relationship to, and possibly a second cousin to, however that relationship works.
Okay.
To drag it across the board, like wondering why this tiny dragon has shown up in her life and if there is a possible connection to, whatever. And then also looking at how I don't know how I want to word this. Probably how they were, I don't want to say destroyed, but destroyed might be the best word I can think of.
Who was destroyed?
Tiamat. Tina Cat. All the heads. All
Okay.
5.
You mean like how to destroy her, or do you think that
No.
she has been defeated at some point already?
Well, from what Ulta is understanding, not Chrissy the player, Ulta,
Okay.
the character, is under the impression that people are trying to bring her back or bring her to fruition from something.
Okay, yep.
So she's trying to understand, like, well, if she was brought forth, she had to have been banished to and or gotten rid of somehow, ?
Okay.
Like, whether that's necessarily true for Ulta, she's trying to figure out for her sake.
So let's have you make an investigation or history check, your choice. And I need to look at something over here quick. Okay. What did we get?
16.
All right. You had two things. You just explained what you're looking for as far as Tiamat goes. What was the first thing you were looking for before Tiamat?
There's any relationship to baby tiny gold dragons being signs and or
That.
messengers for said ancient dragon queen.
So, you are able to find a little bit in a section on creatures, like known creatures in Faerun, on fairy dragons. It's the closest thing you can find. And mostly from their, some aspects of Sunny's behavior would align with fairy dragons in that they're very curious creatures. They respond well to the beings around them. But one major difference you're able to find is that usually these fairies are, as fairies are, incredibly mischievous. And that's like Sunny hasn't really been. Sunny has been more of like a baby animal, I guess, for lack of a better term. Like it seems like it's honestly a baby dragon to you, other than the fact that it's tiny and hasn't been growing. Then as far as Tiamat goes, you are able to find a couple of different, one specific text that is really more along the lines of the philosophies of the dragon cult and why they worship Tiamat. And a little bit of history on her in essentially a big conflict between her and Bahamut. At one point, he banished her to hell. And she is essentially constantly in this conflict with Zariel, the lord of the first layer of hell, and Tiamat has essentially been given the duties of guarding an entrance exit, and she doesn't like that. She wants to rule over something, and so she doesn't really have a great relationship with Asmodeus or Zariel. And frankly, both of those devils would rather she not be there anyway, but being the Queen of Dragons, she's rather efficient at her job of protecting that portal between layers of hell. in order to get her here, which is what you understand the cult's plan to be, for any god to have like themselves or even an avatar of themselves come to the material plane in full form, they have to have the assistance of people of this plane, and a lot of them, and they have to be very powerful. So you'd know that if that is happening, that's kind of the scale of the people that you'd be dealing with that are trying to do this. I think that covered it, right?
Yeah, she doesn't read anything specifically like we gotta have a some sort of like, I'm gonna use the word phylactery because I don't know like another word. We don't need something to contain her into, or like something to, you know, like, and she's looking for anything that we might need to make sure like if we need like extra item bits.
Is there a nice convenient ritual that we could just do to send her back?
So with a 16,
Like, do we need like a something like a scale of a something or a tooth of a whatever? I don't know. Just
Right.
Yeah, we have to like
throwing
burn
ideas.
some of her hair
My
in
preference for ritual is
whatever. Which is hard
What
because
was
she
that,
doesn't have
Hyacinth?
hair because she's a dragon.
my preference for type of ritual to send her back would be song and dance.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
Put that thing back where it came from. Where so help me.
So
So help me!
the books you're able to find will make mention of incredibly dark magic and secrets of summoning, basically, that's mostly unknown except to the people themselves that are in, like, trying to participate in such rituals. Obviously they're incredibly dangerous and they pose risk to themselves, etc., etc. But really nothing specific enough to be like, here's how to handle it. Mostly because it really hasn't happened before.
Okay, cool. I was just like I guess Ulta's big concern is like, is there something we need to obtain prior to going nose to nose with this cult that we can be like, sorry, we have the giant tooth of Trogdor. Good luck, Godspeed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, like I just in her head, she's like, maybe we need something, because she's watching all these magic users like need special things to do magic things. So
You
know,
would be
dot
able to
I's, cross the
generally,
T's.
yeah, you'd be able to generally find that, there's a mix of that. Some, ritual summonings of beings do include specific items. Some include like pentagrams and other, similar symbols, runes and symbols on the ground. And sometimes it just requires the correct chant from the right number of people, and every sort of mix of all of the above. So in this particular case, it's generally just not really known, at least not in the text that you're able to find.
Yeah. She will pad herself over to the Yawning Portal and grab a table and wait for everybody to show up.
All right. Did we cover everybody?
We gotta go back to our shopping.
Oh, yes. I'm glad I asked. Okay, so Icarus, what's going on?
I would like to walk into the fancy magic shop, and I would like to get some fancy gold ink.
That was the Serene, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're trying to get what now?
Fancy golden ink.
You guys are throwing all sorts of stuff out. Okay.
Very specific. I don't care if it's magical or not. It's just gotta be beautiful. I want it to glimmer like rays of sunshine.
Okay. So you'll be met with several folks actually working, sort of going back and forth between people that are shopping in this place, and most of them for the most part seem like they know exactly what they're looking for and where to find it. So it's kind of like a business as usual atmosphere, and it's a little busy. But someone will quickly come to assist you. And anything that we can help you find?
I put my arm on the counter as I walk up, just like a single elbow, and lean on the counter. I'm like, "Hello, dear sir or madam." I don't know which one okay, but I don't. Hello, dear person. I need some. I'm looking for a specific golden ink to write some material with. Just
Love letters.
or love letters or music or something specific. You know, it's for writing.
Is this for writing anything in particular that would require additional properties, or are we simply looking for golden ink?
I'm open whichever is the most appealing gold ink because some might be magical, some might not. So like I don't know all of the potential in your magical inks. So
Well, we have these inks over here, and he'll point toward one very small shelf compared to everything else that's around the shop in general. There's one very small shelf with a few much fancier looking. Think like decanters, but smaller. Very decorative. And they contain swirling, colorless liquids. He'll point to them and say, well, these could be used for creating spells of sorts that would be more potent than their original forms. But of course, we can always just color a mundane ink for you.
can you define more potent?
Oh, that depends on the type of spells you are creating.
Let's say I was listening.
They are on the pricey side, though, I must warn you.
So it just depends on the spell.
Yes. Although I must admit, not all of the properties are known, and we don't have anyone here who's gone through every known spell in existence and tried to recreate it with this special ink.
I look over to Elsa.
Oh, I really want to say challenge accepted.
Let's split a bottle. And is it good for multiple uses or just one?
Excuse me. That's a very good question. Hold, please.
I would like to pool Eliseo's money to share it so that...
Just pickpocketing me in front of this nice store clerk?
I'm saying you would like to use it too because you write spells too.
Okay, so we would have to translate this.
Like 7-year-old.
I did get some of the money out of our giant shared bank account. Can't remember how much.
I believe
I wanna say,
Ulta
like,
withdrew
200
500.
gold.
I don't know how it was distributed, but it was a 500 total at least.
I gave her what she needed, you know? I'm sorry, I gave them what they needed. I apologize.
Okay, so the usage is endless. Part of the reason that the prices are so high.
Define high.
Well, your standard ink would go for about 10 gold pieces per bottle. The equivalent amount in this unique ink quality would be in the area of 1,500.
How much use can you get out of that for 1,500?
They said unlimited. Also, I think I whispered so quiet that my mic didn't pick it up.
I didn't hear a whisper.
If you're wondering what I heard, it was.
I was whispering to Eliseo. I was like, "How much of that gold did you snag?"
Oh yeah, no, that didn't come through.
I'm gonna like pull Eliseo aside, like out of earshot. I'm gonna like, how long do we plan to be in town? I could maybe.
We already told you how long you had with your library books.
I could plan a heist with this.
No, we're not planning a heist to steal one little bottle.
I'm just saying I can be very friendly.
We're not
Okay.
stealing it.
How many do we have?
I have like 100 gold from Volta, and that's it.
As soon as you say that, you'll hear a snap and a pop, and all of a sudden, right next to you appears Konalvana. Is there a matter I can assist with?
What's going on?
Oh gosh. Did the banker just appear because we
Yes,
said we didn't
kinda.
have enough money?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got 14 gold.
You're 14. We are literally the children in the shop just putting pennies on the counter.
I stole Riches, remember? I have a full jewelry set.
Oh gosh, you do.
I'm gonna turn to the banker. I'm like, you don't function like a pawn shop, do you?
We do
I'm
not
so sorry.
delve in such matters, no. It seems you're attempting to make a purchase, yes?
Maybe.
Listen, Clippy.
She's standing there like,
Okay, if we, I'm gonna look over back at the person over the counter. If we made some sort of an exchange, what if I played the most magical song you've ever heard? What could we swipe off the top for a friend's discount?
we do not deal in trades here. I apologize. It'll be 1,500 gold.
Do we know out of game what it's supposed to do?
Nope.
Because this feels like a lot for who knows.
Can I insight check?
Yeah, I want to insight this because this seems like
I'm assuming there's a normal
Sure.
upfront, but I also feel like they're like very purposeful with how they deliver it.
With how
Yeah.
they deliver what? Their responses to you, or like the specificity of the cost, or what are we talking about?
no, like they're just very vague about its purposes are this, and it's like that's
Magical things, but you don't know
Not
what
helpful.
they are. But it's definitely this expensive, you know.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, sure. Insight check that.
Natural 20 for 23.
Okay.
yeah.
So, Icarus, you're not getting a vibe that he's not being truthful with you, but you're getting the idea that maybe if you're more specific with your questions, you might get more specific answers.
So 1,500 gold is a lot, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What are the actual like known benefits of using this over other things?
Well, the most common that I've witnessed for myself would be in the areas of evocation, where damage output, as it were, would be amplified when cast by a spell that used this ink rather than a standard book.
So
Okay, so say that a wizard had a spell book already. Would they have to then apply this ink on top of their other previously made spells in order to amplify those spells? That seems like a lot of work.
I do not know that that's been attempted, or, of course, successful or failure if it had been attempted. I only know that it has applied to those creating from scratch. So in theory, you could recreate the same spell from scratch by writing it
Recopying
into
the runes, yes.
recopying the runes, and that would apply.
So in the vague terms of more supportive spells or healing, as this one I nearly finished, do you have any idea what the effect would be on the other side of things? Would it still increase, or would it remain unknown, uncharted?
I have seen and heard of cases in healing where the result is the same. The amount of intended healing is amplified by the usage of this ink alone.
You don't use a spell book.
I still have to write my songs.
Okay.
I have sheet music.
All right.
That's how it's created, and then I memorize it, so it still kind of counts.
Yeah.
And what colors does this come in? I still need it to be gold.
Gold is, of course, an option. If you're looking for others, we can also do red and green.
green would be fairly pretty for at least one of my spells, but the gold is better overall, I think. What if you wrote them in the translucent, like clear color, so that no one can read your spellbook but you, Eliseo?
I mean, sure. I don't think that the color is really what I'm debating here.
Oh, Kono, how much of loans?
What's our current balance?
5,500.
That was bigger than I thought it was.
It is the amount that I knew it was.
Do you have something, Eliseo? Can you just message Ulta real quick and ask for permission?
Yeah, Clippy, can you just pop on over to the rest of our party and let us know? let them know that we're going to be spending a lot of money on a tiny bottle of ink.
Clippy, are you serious?
You literally said a person popped out of existence and said, it looks like you're trying to make a purchase.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good. I didn't realize.
Yes, that's why I said Clippy.
Oh man, I love how witty you guys are with these names. It's the
Thank
best.
You literally did this yourself. Something popped into existence and said, it looks like you're trying.
Yeah.
Ulta, I believe, is the account holder. It's under their name and it's a shared card. So if you could pop over to Ulta and just double fact check that.
Ulta was actually just the primary contact. It was specified as for the party.
All of us.
In my mind, I literally thought it was just Ulta's money in character.
In character, you are free to believe what you
it's all
choose.
of
Yes.
Eliseo knows it's for all of us.
I was asking how much should we take out, and they were like, 500 sounds fair. I was like, you're in charge, yeah. Well, I mean,
The charge has been declined.
So anyways,
okay, let's do some math here.
Just teasing you.
Let's do some math here. Okay, so 1,500 is a fourth of the total amount that we had, and we are 2/5 of the party, so that sounds fair, right?
yes, but that means that I don't get to use the money for other things. Like copying more spells and stuff. I need a lot of like.
Imagine if you copied a spell in this note, in this ink.
Okay, but like it's a tiny bottle. We're gonna run out.
No, they said it was unlimited.
Out of this tiny bottle? I kind of don't believe that.
It's unlimited. It's a magical bottle. I would like to roll persuasion against Eliseo.
I would love for you not to do that.
I actually, that's a good point, General, to bring up. Aside from actually combating each other, I tend to shy away from skill checks against each other. I prefer to roleplay that out.
It was just a joke, but I also rolled a nat 1 for my joke. So extremely
Yeah,
funny.
there it is.
There you go.
Is it really unlimited? That seems too good to be true.
Well, that's what they said.
I'm asking Magic. Is it
So-
really unlimited? That seems too good to be true.
Yeah, so out of game, there's really, like, you have ink or you don't. And then it's just a matter of, like, if you need to buy an inkwell with ink in it, it's 10 gold pieces. So I'm just trying to keep it simple and consistent with that and say because of the potency of the ink itself and the fact that you never really have to replenish any ink, mechanically speaking, in the game, we're just going to stick with that consistency, and then the price is reflective of its capabilities, not how much you get.
Eliseo,
Okay.
you know those magic cleaning bottles that we use when we like wash our hands and things? That
Soap. You're thinking of soap.
you just refill it, and then with other things like water and it still works fine, you know?
No, you're diluting the soap and it's not effective anymore when you do that. You're just spreading germs now, Icarus. Wash your damn hands. This is a public service announcement out of character, everyone. Wash your hands.
that bottle of prestidigitation.
Yeah. Anyways. All right. I mean, as long as it's actually like, okay, that is because I've been factoring in like I will need to spend money on like copying spells into the spell book includes the cost of ink and paper. So if if we actually get this ink, can I later have a discount on how much it costs since we have this ink that is supposedly endless?
That is a very good point. Yes.
Okay.
I will have to,
That's what was tripping me up was like, listen, ink can't be free when it costs me 50 gold a spell level.
Right. Yep. So
I'm a wizard. I have to know this.
if you make this purchase, then we'll note it that you have this magic ink, the magical ink. And then I will put in the time off stream before next session to sort of like translate that into how much that helps you out with the cost of spells. Does that sound fair?
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm gonna look over.
Then I will consent to this purchase.
Look over at the keep. Hey, have you ever heard of Volothamp?
Yes, the wizard documenter drunk.
Bless you.
Yes, but he's famous and he does good business. So
You are not wrong.
1,500 gold, thank you very much.
So you can continue, Icarus, in a second, but at that, Conal. Words and names,
Clippy.
everything is hard.
Clippy.
Clippy. There you go. He quickly like conjures up a feather pen and scribbles onto a small piece of parchment and hands it over. It's very much like the note that you had received in the first place to acquire your account. Hands it to the person working with you and says, "This should cover for you at the Central Exchange."
Hey,
Icarus, they already know that Volo has a reputation as a drunk. Don't think that dropping their name is gonna get a lot.
but he's still a good wizard.
Yes, he is still a good wizard.
Supplies. Whatever. I didn't want to be helpful anyways. And I pout.
I'm sorry. We can get you extra gold ink. Here you go.
The money doesn't mean we should waste it. We're currently arguing opposite of what we were.
I know. Well, now we have what we want, but neither of us are happy about it. Oh no.
I go first use and I take the bottle and I run.
Fine.
I'm actually almost done with my healing spell.
Congratulations. I'm almost done with my other spell.
Oh wait, I run back. Can you make it gold?
Yeah, no, you ran away and pouted, so I was like, okay, we'll get you a gold bottle. So I reached for a gold bottle. I don't know how much that will put me out, but I will get him a gold bottle because I feel bad.
All right, gold bottle acquired.
Hooray.
I will write down on my tasks. Oh, I can get rid of that one because I did it. Yay!
Inventory. My favorite part, adding things to the inventory.
Okay, magical ink. Full description of. God, I can't even type straight. Jesus. Cost reduction for spellcrafting. Got it. All right. Anything else in the shopping spree?
No.
Shopping spree, we bought like 2 things.
Spree.
What a spree. I'm set.
All right, cool. So was there anything else for anybody in the separate groups before meeting back up at the Yawning Portal?
I think we're good.
Okay. Everybody's here. Yay.
We're walking in.
Ulta, did you get our message? We used some of your bank funds. I hope you don't mind.
It's our bank funds that I've been telling you that the whole walk
Our
over.
name on our joint account.
It will help us in creating spells that are more effective. I think it was a good investment of our time and our money.
Sure. And she will look genuinely confused as to why you're running this past her, because... But she appreciates the information.
I'm just updating the group. We found a cool thing. And I like hold up the cool ink.
Yeah, and what does that do?
Shopkeeper said they didn't know.
We don't know. It just it gives it a little more pow.
Yeah, they don't know everything that it does. They know that it helps some spells become more powerful, and they haven't tested it on other spells. I feel like that's a golden opportunity.
For example, it would make a fireball a fireball.
Okay.
That's really interesting. I've seen you do like the whole like magical identification thing before. Maybe that could provide some more insight.
Am I that one with that spell? Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you've found identify more. I feel like you have. I could just be misremembering from, being in a bunch of campaigns.
No,
but,
I
even
have
an Arcana check. Like,
no, I'm just very good at Arcana checks. Apparently, I don't have identify somehow.
I
I
think it
comprehend
was
languages.
me, and I don't
Oh, it was
have
you?
it prepared today
Oh,
because
right.
I thought we were gonna go into a dungeon.
well, yeah, just revising the statement. I've seen Juno before. Maybe that'll help.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
No.
No time limit on that.
Yeah,
Or
listen.
if you want
it's-
to just try today, you're very smart.
Yeah, I mean, I can check and look at it closely to see if I can figure out the other effects it would have.
I'm also very smart. I also went to the library today.
Yes, he got several very good picture books.
I learned some things and came back with no picture books, only word books.
Congratulations.
Actually, there were some pictures, but that's just because people sketch the deities because they're really pretty. So, look at this one of the Moonweaver. And it's like this woman sitting on a crescent moon. I'm like, look how pretty she is. I mean, not.
Did you mean the DreamWorks animation logo?
Oh my
no,
god.
it's beautiful. It's just elegant woman,
Yes.
flowy gown,
Also, will I pop in while everyone's chatting? Yeah, so I stopped by the archives of the city at Castle Waterdeep. Just FYI, there's some elven history in this town, in case you folks didn't know that. Also, there's gonna be some snaky boys and some skelly sketchy boys down there. If we're going down below. But there's
Good
also
to know.
going to be crypts and various other things.
I believe that does indeed have my wife's name all over it.
But also, if I don't remember if all of us have dark vision.
Oh, we do, as long as I'm there.
All right.
Sister, you are my light.
No, I'm your
Wow.
darkness.
Never mind.
Yeah. I'm who allows you to see in the dark, at least. Endlessly. Not endlessly, it's 300 feet, but most dungeons aren't that big. Because maps. In Roll20. It's a very big map.
Yeah.
Also, there's such things, I guess, as I'm probably gonna botch this pronunciation, but neo-illithids? Is that what you said, Magic?
It's better than what I said.
Neothelids.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
cool. I like them a lot. I look at the monster manual a lot. I'm sorry.
Is that I actually have no idea what that would be like.
Same.
I'm excited for it.
So, just heads up. That's that. Also, little bit of info about Tiamat. She's currently, doing a job down there. So she's definitely like alive and kicking. So they're just trying to pop her right back up. I thought maybe she was dead. I don't know about you guys, but I thought we were like summoning something in a way that or pulling it from a different, I don't know.
That would make sense as to why the gods are so concerned at this point. I kind of saw one of their council tables. I don't really know what I saw, but they were all standing around, and none of them felt anything but stressed. It was not good. It was not a fun time. It was probably like one of the least pleasant visions I've been on. Ever.
Been on like it was a ride.
It was a trip.
Yeah.
Being on a Zoom call. Just observing.
I was on a Teams chat and the vibe was just...
Also, we'll also make mention that, just in case anyone was wondering, don't know if anyone else was. I know I was. There's no 500 gold piece diamond that can help us, or, whatever. I was hopeful that maybe there would be an item or a thing we could do prior to, but there isn't, so we're kind of on our own.
I mean, there's the spell banishment. You could just banish her.
But she's not originally from there, is she?
I don't think any of you would know.
Oh, I thought you said that she was banished there, so she wouldn't have.
She was banished there by another dragon god. Actually, okay, yeah. If you're using that as context, that is a reasonable conclusion to come to. Yeah, that makes sense.
Thanks, boss.
Nicholas, it's gotta be true.
Guess we'll just have to be creative.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got.
Speaking
And a
of,
$1,500 charge on my card, thanks.
I get it.
speaking of, I wonder where our contacts are. They should be here soon.
I'm surprised they're not. Where are they? And Juno will just impatiently start tapping the table.
Are you guys at a table? You can see this map,
yeah,
right?
we're on the map now. Okay. Let's go
On
back.
the map,
I don't
on
know.
the map.
The fireplace has enough room for us. Over here, I don't know.
I think I probably subconsciously drift towards the pit again. Of just I just want to check what's up there.
No, over here.
I like the fireplace because the bard stand was near it. Or at least that was where the last bard played.
All right, we're over here. Let's take one more super quick break because I know we're coming up on the session anyway. But one more super quick break. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
You never know.
We probably always are. We probably never went on break to begin with.
Well, we did. We are back now.
There it is.
Nobody did anything super funny, so that's all right. Okay, so we're in the Yawning Portal, and you're essentially waiting for someone. Anything you're doing in particular?
Are we waiting for Volo, or are we waiting for someone else?
Volo told you that he was going to meet you back here today.
Cool, good. I need to copy a spellbook. One of you distract him so I can just steal it.
That sounds a little illegal.
That was an Iffer, not
Oh, wait.
Sale.
I was about to say, I was like, didn't you just talk me out of stealing?
Yeah, I know.
Let's just
Listen.
kill him and take his stuff.
Eliseo and Niffer are two very different people.
And then there's Corn Dog. Violence!
Then Corn Dog. That's my wife.
I'm ready to go. I was not ready for a shopping episode, I'll be completely honest.
I didn't want a shopping episode. Let's go dungeon crawl for the last 45 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Swear to God, get me in this dungeon.
See, why
All
why
right.
else do you think I'm on the edge of the pit? Because if anything happens, I can just fall into it and start dungeon crawling.
Oh my god.
It's not a good plan.
Excuse me while I roll everything up
I
for
was going to
Dungeon
say,
of the Mad
doesn't
Mage.
that,
No.
yeah, I was like, doesn't that take us to like a different dimension, not under the
It
city?
takes so long. It takes so long. Please no.
So,
Please no.
didn't we ask for a shopping episode?
We did.
Yeah. Just
You guys ask for a lot of things, and I
We
do my
did.
very best to make as much of it happen as possible.
And you're doing a great job.
We did because many of our party members needed a shopping episode. There's just something about being a cleric that makes it less enticing. Especially when I stole all the things I needed.
Oh, yeah. I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Yep.
Okay, so... oh, that's like one of my phrases. I'm smelling what you're stepping in. A little bit of insight into magic. So you're kind of... LSAO, are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just kind of hanging out? By the pit?
I'm just hanging out by the pit and waiting for Volo so I can casually bring up the fact that I would love to copy some of his spellbook.
Okay. Ulta, you
So
look a
just
little
really
secluded.
Somebody stupid.
Anything happening over here?
No.
No. Okay.
I was like, where am I at? And then I
Ulta
forgot
is
I-
having a long drink in the corner.
There you go. Okay, what about you three over here? Anything happening?
just slide this way. I'll join the crowd.
Right now.
We're just waiting. Where's our mans?
Is there a bard playing?
There's not.
Should there be?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm like, well, there is now.
Exactly.
You've only been here once, so it would be nearly impossible to tell.
No, I just meant like, should there be like, should I go up there?
You
I'm gonna-
absolutely can.
I'm gonna go up and play a jig on my golden lyre. Notice me, senpai.
Okay. As soon as you start, the rest of you would actually notice Jamna coming in and beelining to you.
Oh shit.
Where are you? Here you are.
That she was a person.
And in the midst of all the joyous sort of like off-kilter singing and drinking and gaming all around you, Jamna walks in with a rather stern look on her face. It seems the plan's already in motion. We have to go.
Oh,
What plan exactly? Like,
The Zenterim's plans.
They're already in the sewers?
oh.
Well, they've been doing something, and my information stopped at basically their start. Volothamp is missing, but I do have information about a stone that we are supposed to find, and I know who has it and where they are.
Is the stone related to the same issue with the dragon horde? Is this all related, or are we just...
Getting stoned.
So
Stone?
Volo's information was less complete than we thought. You've not heard of the Stone of Galore?
No.
have we?
No? And she will look at Icarus, who has just gasped loudly.
It sounded like something else, and I thought it was color, like color, like fun. No. It sounds familiar.
Can I check on that?
To see if you've heard of it?
Yeah.
No, sorry.
No.
That'll be one of the very few no's ever.
That's okay.
And I promise it is because of how very specific it is.
No, that's okay.
It would not be a publicly known thing in any
Not
way.
something I would have heard of. Good deal. Valid.
You know what? Roll.
But I just got told no.
You have Dragon Cult background.
I do have Dragon Cult background.
Roll.
Oh no.
I got it in another campaign and was confused as fuck. I mean, curse.
Okay.
Ha! I maintain my record of not saying no, I think.
What am I adding to it?
Nothing. Straight up D20.
Okay, I
Looking for
rolled
an
a
even
19.
number. You rolled a 19?
I rolled 19.
Okay. The Stone of Galore it's a familiar sounding item.
Yep.
You've heard it mentioned before, but no context or anything.
Okay. Good deal. But you have heard of me.
Okay. Were there? I thought there were other questions. I'm sorry.
Nope.
The rest of us just want to know what she's talking about. Mostly.
We haven't heard about a stone.
So the stone is gonna tell us where the other things are, right?
You don't know that.
No,
But
why
yeah.
else would we go look for a random stone when we're
Yeah,
supposed
why are you bringing up a stone when we're looking for Volothamp?
I may be dumb, but I can put shit together.
It seems that the network has put together that he is a common contact for the rest of us. I can only presume they've taken him. Luckily, he did not have the stone, but it should tell us where exactly we are supposed to go.
Well, if they've already started acting, we should probably move fast then.
Then to the Mist Shore.
You know,
Is there anything else that you guys would want to do or discuss here before going there?
Nah,
No. I would like to
kill something.
leave.
Yeah.
I need to kill something. I'm excited to start
Like-
exploring.
Yeah, just kind of like walking, like on the way out. Like we can walk and talk. Astro just kind of looked at Jamna and say, you know, you disappeared pretty quickly the other day. Is everything all right?
Yes, just continuing with my duties, and that poor unfortunate soul just caught me as I was trying to take a share, as it were. Poor unfortunate soul.
Yeah, there was a whole wild goose chase about it, but it ended up being okay.
And you are all still here, so all for the better, yes?
I died actually. I'm a revenant now.
I don't believe you.
Probably wise. Offward and onward.
Off then. Okay. Jamna leads you through dusk now. I gotta change this up. We are no longer in the jaunty bar. Off to the southwestern corner of the city, the very edge of the dock ward and into one of the harbors, where you come up to a mostly sort of deserted and like falling apart dock area, including a haphazardly strapped up ship. A small one, but it is clearly very damaged. You can tell it's got a mix of like burn and like blunt force damage to it. And Here we go. Rundown dockward neighborhood that reeks of fish and scorched timber. Most of the buildings, as well as the ship itself, are just burned out shells with sails for roofs, if anything. So like just leftover stuff. Fishing poles and nets line the dock, and the 15-foot deep water is covered by a thick layer of ice during the winter. That doesn't apply, so never mind. We are here. You actually notice, and we're going to have to theater of the mind this. This is one of the things that's missing. I apologize. Let's zoom in. You're going to notice a group of robed people trying to batter into a door. And after a few attempts, you can tell that this door is locked. They're trying to get in, and they're all very focused on this one spot in like just off of the dock up here.
Are they dragon robes?
Are they dragon cult robes?
Yeah. Like, do we recognize the robes?
You do not. But Jamna does.
I think that door's locked. Why are they pushing so hard?
She's just gonna like crouch down on a corner and peek around the corner of one of the nearby buildings and actually say to you guys, "Oh no,
What?
that's the Xanathar Guild."
What? Oh boy.
They must be after the stone too.
Well, it sounds very important, so not too surprised that everyone's after it.
I've never heard of that. They must not be that good.
We haven't heard of anything. We were homeschooled for
or
200 years.
Or
Ulta,
they're
you've heard of the
exactly that
Xanathar
good.
Guild. A series of crime lords in the city of Waterdeep.
I
Wait.
have heard of a series of crime lords in the city of Waterdeep
That
called.
was part of our info dump from Volo.
I for sure have. And I relay that information to my friends.
Okay, so what do we do?
Fight them. No, I'm
Now?
just kidding.
I cast fireball. No.
Oh,
I suppose we could intervene, not aggressively. Maybe if somebody wants to distract them, or
I mean, like, are they on like a dock or something, or are they on like a street?
You are. They're going for one of the buildings on this corner. Oh, I'm trying to move the wrong thing. I'm sorry. So I'm going to move your marker to the left a bit so we can see. They're like trying to barge into this little corner building.
How many are there again?
Okay.
4.
Think we could double sleep them.
Aster, you'll also notice you have the observant feat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will notice. You kind of got a feeling along the way, but like at the point that you guys are starting to talk about this, you can't help but feel like you're being followed.
Something doesn't feel right. There's people in front, but she looks around like, is there anybody behind?
Make a perception check.
Okay. I'm gonna have a disadvantage, thanks, Tony, but I do have advantage, so I'm just gonna cancel it out and make it a normal roll.
Okay.
12.
Nope, you can't see anybody.
4. Something just doesn't feel right. I think there are people that know that we're here.
Do we try and split up to get them to reveal themselves? Do we just say go for it and drop a big sleep on them?
Like me to do my rogue thing, I can go invisible.
There is that.
I could also blast them with the moon. It's been a while since we've incinerated random people.
Yeah, we still probably shouldn't incinerate random people, my love. Remember that whole thing?
Yes, that was. And like her eyes just like go pale. They're black, but they go pale.
Oh.
Ulta, roll a history check. We're just gonna fill in. I'm trying to figure out like different ways to fill in things you may or may not know, based on the conversations happening. Okay, you know.
I was gonna say, I would say that probably burning people in the streets, considering how highly fortified the city is.
That's why I want to cast sleep.
Take out the competition, you know?
So
But also-
Ulta,
go ahead.
if nothing else, you would know. We could say, I wouldn't say you've like experienced these people before or the guild that they're associated with, but from everything that you've heard from like watches and soldiers who have experienced them, like they're straight up bad news bears. Fight to the death. Very secretive organization. Try to stay down low. But if they're like discovered or confronted in any way, they basically just lash out.
Can I turn into an alley and just as we're walking, just like turn off?
Are we talking toward this group of people or away from them or
Just away from our group, like literally just like tuck away anywhere?
Sure.
You want to do that changing our appearance thing?
Oh, I was just gonna go invisible, but yeah, I could do that. And I'll change my appearance to look like a random thug.
Oh boy.
In their robes.
Random thug like them. Okay.
I've officially seen the robes, so I can like mimic their robes. I'm full of good ideas. And then I will wait just a tad until the group passes because wait, did you tell us that we were being followed, right?
Yeah, I just said, well, something doesn't feel right.
I won't wait a minute.
She didn't see anything. But...
Or the person who's behind us, quote unquote, just to see if anyone pops up.
Ooh, we can't hear you now.
Me?
Nope, my
Oh,
bad.
jeez. There we go.
About how far away from the group would you say you went before you did that?
Not super far, just enough that I can like be out of eyesight of like people in front of or behind us. Like so it's like as they're walking down the road I would just like turn off, you know.
Okay.
But then I see farther away as I wait, you know.
Investigation or perception check, please. Excuse me.
I'm not awful at this. Oh, I am 12.
You spend a good amount of time looking around and checking even a couple corners, I'd say, and you don't see anybody other than your party now behind you. And we'll say that your vision is obscured from the group of people trying to break into that door that you saw earlier.
Oh, I was okay, so my intention was to turn into the alley and then let the group pass me so that I'm waiting for
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
So like a bit more stealth than that, I think. I mean, I'd still have to see them, I guess, but kind of like waiting for the moment.
So you changed your appearance to look like these guys trying to break into this door?
Mm-hmm.
And went invisible?
No, I didn't go invisible. I'm just like
No invisible.
waiting in the alley for them to walk by.
For the
stalkers.
The people in front of you, the one that Aster told you was behind you.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. No, you see nothing.
Okay. I'll just give up and like follow behind the group then.
Okay. Are you maintaining the look that you took on?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Now you have a real stalker.
So the rest of you are, unless you tell me otherwise, basically like just around a corner of the building that would look directly to these guys. We'll say about 100 feet away. And they're trying to just like kick and shove this door in.
Okay, so my next question would have been, are they acting aggressively? And I would say that
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there, by chance, any windows or other doors by them?
By that, you mean on the same wall as the door they're trying to barge into?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Are there any open flames near us right now, or near them right now?
She says
a
with a
question.
shit-eating grin.
It's a question worth asking. Or, like, are there
It
any
is-
like torches or something like that lighting the area?
Absolutely,
or is it
a
fairly
question
dark
worth
here?
asking. I am on the wrong.
Oh,
Yes.
I have a good table with being good at intimidation if we want to do anything scary to them. I think we should.
Yes, Juno, easy enough to spot a handful of very sparse, but they're there, torches throughout the dock, sort of scattered between the various rundown, burned down buildings.
Good to know. That's all she needed.
I-
Totally not going to do anything with that info.
Ulta is going
Yes.
to pipe up again. You know, like just to maybe like a distraction, make them look the other way, or get a couple of them to maybe not be right there.
I can
or-
cast sleep on them.
We could double cast sleep and
Shall we?
But then, what I mean, to some degree, we might also need to follow at least like a couple of them to know where they're going. Once we get into the building, we'll have no idea where we're going. So I was thinking, like, get a couple of them, and then like let maybe one or two be our tour guide to wherever they're heading. Because if they're going down below and they know where they're going, they might be useful to us.
Yeah, but I don't think that their instinct would be, oh no, we are scared. Let's go run immediately to headquarters.
let's just let them go in then. We go in and then we follow them once they're in there.
I'm like jogging to catch up. So I'll keep an arrow knot, but like from far away, and we'll just follow them.
Aster, at one point while your group is figuring things out, you actually hear one of these guys sort of like frustratingly mutter as they hurl a kick at the door. Damn it, woman, let us in.
No, there's someone in there. You hear that? We're trying to get to someone in there. I bet you that person might know something, so
It has to be
we're
Grinda.
actually just stopping them.
Let them in.
What was it? What was the name again?
Jamna says it has to be Grinda. That's who they're after.
So we shouldn't let them get in that building.
So,
She has the stone we need.
Okay, so
well,
cast
Also, I don't
sleep.
think I'll spare her, so yeah. All right.
Nighty
all right.
night.
All right, roll sleep. It's a
Okay.
roll for a HP
I'm
total, right?
casting high.
I will as well then.
Oh no. My dice bag is tied shut.
Did I do it? Did it show up? Is this roll 20? Why you do this?
Roll 20
Because
why?
roll 20.
Because roll 20.
It's just like it just reopened 3 screens for me, so that's fun.
But why?
Why you do this? Why you suck so bad?
I'm gonna cast it up. By the way, I don't believe in medium.
Light it up, up.
Light it up on fire.
Okay, so I'm casting this at 3rd level.
Which means we're rolling how many dice?
It'd be 78, right? Yeah?
Total?
98.
for each.
Yeah, I was gonna say 9. I thought.
I think it's 98. Because it's a 1st level spell.
Oh, yeah, 2d8 for each additional.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I just read it as 2d8 per.
Same. I saw second level in 2D. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
44 points of sleep from me.
Hang on.
Oh, did that take all of them out already?
It did. So,
Nice.
LSAO, you can
Well,
legitimately...
maybe what we do is we do a 1, see how many go down, and then 2. So LSAO, you keep yours, my
Also,
love.
because it's been pointed out that there might be people following, I'm kind of waiting for like a 1, and then we sleep behind us on the off chance that there are people that we could just knock out behind us too.
So you want to like do a blind cast?
No, I want to see the reaction of them falling down.
Oh,
Like,
I see.
if some people are like, haha, they are attempting to attack us, I can be like, night. I'm going to roll it so I can do math while you're figuring it out, and then I will decide even when I'm casting it.
Well, no, don't roll until you're for sure casting it. We don't want to meta that too much.
Yeah. Well,
let me think this through.
Good night.
Sweet.
So basically, are you holding the action of casting sleep if somebody responds
That is a
behind
very
us?
good
Right.
alternative.
That's
Yes.
what I'm doing. Like, if people are around, I just want to get the math out of the way so I'm not holding everyone up. Like, I want to cast it if people show up.
Okay, yeah, let's absolutely treat that as a held action. You can hold an
Okay,
action and still like
cool.
move.
Yes.
Yeah, that works. Thank you for that suggestion.
Thank you for understanding what I was trying to do.
Yes, that too, because I did not. So these 4 men will fall to the ground, clearly asleep. And you have a minute, right? Before they just wake up.
Yep. Enough time to hopefully have someone else talk our way into this place.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this 10 seconds at a time. 6 seconds at a time. We'll treat it like rounds. 6 seconds pass by, nothing happens. Even Aster doesn't notice anybody else move or like do anything outside of you 5. Do you decide to do anything after that first 6 seconds collectively? We're doing a semi-initiative thing.
Would Jamna go and approach the door, since she's the one who brought us here?
She's watching at this point.
Jamna, what do we do? You want to do anything? Okay.
She saw them too. She's pointing at Aster.
Yeah?
I'm confused. What did I say?
Yeah, what?
The people watching us, so Jamna now has eyes on the people watching us as well.
I'm just gonna where I can make them sleep. What direction?
Back that way, but I lost sight.
Sleep is like a 20-foot
What
radius.
do my Aster eyes see
Yeah.
anything?
I'm gonna look for both of you to point, and I'm just gonna make the best guess. It's a 20-foot radius around sleep, so we got a chance.
I'm going to whisper to Icarus as well. Any chance you can disguise yourself like a normal human and maybe gently knock on the door instead of aggressively banging and kicking on it?
Oh, yeah. And then I'll just become like myself but human. So like curly blondish hair and like freckles and just non-pointy ears and be like, okay.
And Ulta's gonna turn to Juno and go, you can message him, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I just had to see if I had that prepared.
I know, that's why I was like, oh.
I was like, I'm gonna prepare myself. I'm ready for
So-
the day.
I'm just gonna casually stroll up to the door, like arms like.
And then I was gonna say before you walk away, but you're already gone, so never mind.
Grab my ear and drag me back.
You're good.
Okay.
So, Icarus, you are now a not like those guys person, disguised, right?
Yeah.
Walking toward the door?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's 6 seconds, so I don't know if I'll get there or not. But like, I will continue when I get there.
Okay. You will all see, except Icarus, because this is behind you now. Jamna actually, like, very slowly reaches into her pack and pulls out a crossbow bolt and starts to load one up and points it at like an off angle from where you guys were originally looking, still behind you.
Is that like where I'm supposed to cast sleep?
I think you wait until you actually see someone.
Okay.
In the meantime, should we be restraining these Xanathars? Guild
If
members
we
that
touch
are-
them, they'll wake up.
And we will give our position away.
I'll just.
It's only going to be a minute that they're
Body.
going to wake up.
I'll cast it again. Just
Okay.
waste all my 3rd level spells before we even go in.
Okay.
So we're waiting another round, or is anybody doing anything else?
I'll casually tiptoe over the bodies and like gingerly tap on the door, like, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you okay in there? They're gone."
No response.
And
Tell
he
you
doesn't
what.
like get targeted or anything?
Well, they're not gone, but we mostly took care of them.
No response.
I don't think she's here.
Or she's hiding. Tell you what, Aster is going to cast Pass Without a Trace on the people that are trying to like hide and be less seen.
Okay.
Make it a little harder for anyone trying to trail us to see us. So, yeah, well, the shadows sticking to the wall are just going to grow a little bit more and just kind of cover us.
When you do that, Aster, after a few seconds, you'll see. So I gotta figure out a good way to describe this. You are looking outward, and like past past the building you're looking at would be the docks and the water, like straight forward. Off to your right and into behind you is like the outer wall of the city with a few other rundown buildings along there. Just off of the edge of the last rundown building in that corner to your right, you see what would look like maybe the end of an arm sort of slowly stick out. And then a glowing orb appears at the end of it.
Oh no! Try to point at it. Oh no!
Like a good glowing orb or a
Like a-
bad glowing orb?
Jamna is going to quickly like reorient by just a couple inches and fire a bolt and hits it square on. And you just hear
She's
this
so cool.
this instant and a thunk onto the ground.
Good shot.
Are there any more?
She loads up another bolt and holds it up, clearly in anticipation.
Should I cast sleep on that area? I think I should cast sleep on that area just in case. I'm looking at
I don't
Aster.
know. I think
She's the one that
I think
noticed.
we need to get in this building. Anyone know a better way to get in other than just breaking the door down?
Ooh, possibly. Nope.
I feel like as you start
I
that
have
and
a
then you finish
familiar.
that sentence, it's, oh.
Is
I
anybody
mean, I guess we
proficient
could,
in lockpicking and or have the spell knock? Ulta says that, not Chrissy. At all. Ulta knows what knock means.
I don't have knock, but I have a familiar that we could try and like send on patrol. I've just remembered that Puff exists. I would love for a little bird to please go scout where the person attacked us from behind, though, while we try and address getting in.
Okay. Let's go to Puff's point of view and remind me, are you able to see like real time, like a warg style
Yes.
kind of thing? Okay. You'll get this view of the like floating up just barely above the single story roof level of these buildings, and around to the corner where this creature now lies. And I'm just going to show it to you. Oh, not that. No, I clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry, hold please. There it is. This creature lies dead on the ground.
Ah.
Oh, fun.
It looks like a baby one of those big things.
You baby beholder.
Yeah, that.
Jamna just took that out with a single shot.
Well, it's a baby.
Yes.
But also, she's amazing.
She is a goddess.
Let's keep her forever. Never get on her bad side, people.
I don't want to die.
Rogues have that sneak attack damage, what can I tell you?
Anyway, I guess
So,
we can,
are there any
break
more
down the door,
around?
but like it's
I
a
have
very
thieves'
threatening thing to do.
tools, but I don't know that I'm good at them.
I'm dexterous, I could try.
Okay, so a couple things were said at the same time. So Ulta's working at the Thieves' Tools idea.
Okay.
What was Aster saying?
I mean, it's like I know people like are better at breaking in the door. Like if that's the last option we have to
Yeah.
do, like,
Okay.
fine. But like let Ulta try the thieves' tools first if that's what she wants to do.
Okay,
I
and then
would happily
Eliseo?
guide you. Hold on.
Fun fact, Roll20 has a new feature called a backpack.
Yes.
So they were hiding in a backpack that I didn't realize I had until just
That's
now.
awesome.
So
Wait,
all
roll
that's
20?
in the backpack. Yeah. Or
Oh,
not
yeah,
Roll20. D&D Beyond, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just
D&D
kidding.
Beyond has their backpack feature now, so you gotta like
Yo.
go into a subcategory of your inventory to see all your stuff.
Oh, I have a little bag of sand in my backpack. Sorry.
Yeah, I had thieves' tools. I was like, I wonder, because it says that I should be proficient in them, but I'm like, I don't remember taking that for equipment. But apparently, they're in my backpack.
Back.
Okay, so are you all collectively going toward the door?
I think Ulta would probably offer to go first to see if she could get the door open before having the whole crowd descend upon the room, or the door, rather.
Okay, and what are the rest of you doing?
Aster's just making sure like that shadow that passed without a trace where he is just kind of covers everybody. It's 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Juno's gonna cast guidance on Ulta. So that way you have that.
Eliseo's gonna try and be in the middle of the pack and just occasionally blink into Puff, just to have Puff be doing backup like watching our backs.
I'm just gonna say, ma'am, I'm sorry, but there are more coming. We need help. we need to hide.
So Ulta's gonna stealth down there with Pass Without a Trace.
Uh-huh.
Should I roll stealth, or are we just, just
Yeah,
kidding.
yep,
I'll just
roll
do
roll
it.
that stealth check.
22,
Okay, you're super sneaky.
and then is it sleight of hand for thieves' tools?
It is a dex check with the tools. Yep, it's a dexterity check.
20.
Nice.
And then if you're proficient, you get to add your proficiency bonus. Plus my 3.
I am proficient. So 22 plus another 3.
25.
25. But I have a feeling it's magically, because if they couldn't get it with all the kicking and the stomping, was why I was kind of hoping for like a knock spell.
So when you unlock the lock successfully, and give the door a shove, you can actually tell that it is a thicker, more reinforced type of door than you might expect, especially from this rundown of like an old building. It budges just a little bit and then hits another barricade. You can easily enough tell that it is like actually barricaded from the other side as well. But then you'll hear an older woman's voice from the other side. It seems you're not with them.
No.
We're not.
Help.
Oh, Ulta, Icarus, I'm with the Lord's Alliance. He's with the Harpers, not kind of, maybe.
We're trying to stop them, honestly, but
They're asleep, but we need to go quickly because there's a group of us here and they're going to wake up soon. And we could kill them first, but I mean, we'd rather just drag them in here and gut them this way.
Do you have anything
Or
to show me as
not.
proof?
And she will kind of take off her Lord's Alliance thing and shove her tiny little hand in and just kind of like do one of these.
All right. Within a matter of seconds, you'll hear and feel, Ulta, if you're still on the door, you'll hear a couple of, like, you know how moving a chair across a wood floor sounds, just like that sound a few times. And then she'll open the door, and you will meet an elderly woman, graying hair and robes, with like glasses at the end of her nose, and she's sort of like looking over the top at you. And then eventually meet eyes with Jamna and say, "So it has begun." Jamna gives a nod, and that's where we will have to end tonight.
We in it.
Woo! We in
In
it.
it.
It just got so serious though.
Yeah.
Did. That tonal shift. Blowing my mind. It's freaking my bean.
So you said you had a thirst
What
for
did you
blood.
just say?
It's freaking my bean.
Yep.
Freaking your bean?
Yep.
Anywho, we're gonna move on to outros.
What?
What? We'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. Hey, heck, who the heck are you?
Hey guys, it's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, you can find me on all of the social medias at Sir Heckalot, including our lovely Discord that you should definitely join. I played Aster, our Circle of Wildfire Druid, who's also a shifter. And yeah, in terms of where you'll see me next, you're not going to see me for the next week, but in a week, that starts my 4-day stream extravaganza, I guess, because starting next Thursday, I'm going to be here for the Game Jam stream. On October 1st is when we have Memento Mori, where we're actually going to play a game that I wrote is going to be overlaying another game that we're playing. We're going to be playing Locomotive, so big hype for that. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be over on Neon Lights Roleplay with our typical Seven Suns session. Things are getting wild, so you're going to want to see it. And then on Sunday, I will be playing The Zone, which is this kind of like surreal horror thing that Proper Nerdy is hosting. So big hype for all of it. I think that is it. So let's keep on keeping on.
Niffer.
Hi, I know how to unmute myself. I'm an expert. I do this. It's fine. Hi, I'm Nif. You can find me haunting TPK as their little gremlin and intern. I will be here tomorrow for our Rhyme of the Frostmaiden campaign. We are wrapping up the first half of that story in the next couple of episodes. And then you'll find us back in January. So every other Friday for now, come see us. I play a very stressed warlock there, and he's great. And then next Monday on the 27th, I am going to be playing Dr. Emmy Connor, the alien forensic anthropologist in our Stargate Phoenix campaign. I get to play a wonderful little nerd. She's great, and I'm so excited for it. So we are the good team. Good team is the greatest team. I'm looking at y'all chat. Anyways, and yeah, that's mostly what I'm in and around TPK for. Also, find me in Jasper's Game Day. They are a wonderful charity that is all about the education and prevention of suicide. The cat decided to come up for goodbyes, so yeah. So go check out Jasper's. They're amazing people. Yeah.
Baya, I'm Hyacinth. You can find me on Twitter at Anderson, and you can find me in Discord if you add me, because I am a working person now, so I'm not allowed to use my phone at work, so there's. But also, yeah, next Wednesday I will be back for my other weekly game that I still don't know. I never know if I'm allowed to tell people about them, because we like change games and I'm like, it's super exciting and I want to tell everyone, but I don't know if everyone knows. It's probably on the calendar anyways. I guess that's a safe way to check.
Check the calendar. If it's on there, you can totally blow it up. That's how I screamed about something in chat. And people were like, Courtney, what are you
There you
doing?
go.
And I was like, it's on the calendar. I'm sorry.
Okay, 1 second. I'm checking the calendar. Okay, why does TPK not come up when I search TPK?
Well, if you're looking for the calendar, we just linked it in chat, everyone.
Oh, thank you. That helps. No, it's not on there. Wait, is it? That's September. Nope. Next week is October. I guess it's not on there. What? Oh, it is. It is. Wait, that's not next week. They changed everything again, so I thought it was next week. It's in 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. But it's on the calendar, so I can say it's Henshin and Go-Go. We're playing Power Rangers. Yeah.
Hooray!
I'm a mess apparently.
That takes us to Juno. Corn dog.
Me. Sorry, I'm looking at a GIF in our chat, and I can't stop watching it. Hello, everyone. I'm Corndog McGraw. You can catch me here this time every other week. Otherwise, you can find me here Sunday morning. Grab your cup of coffee and come on an adventure with us to the Weird West. We will be here on TPK playing Blood and Grit, and it's gonna get fucking weird. Something else is gonna happen Tuesday night. That should be neat. And then I think I'm in other stuff. Check the schedule. See you around. Off to you, Chrissy.
Yeah. I'm Chrissy. I am finishing a 4-day straight run. Some of those days with multiple streams, so I'm very tired. Where else can you find me? Every third Monday for Madness Calls It Forth, our City of Mist campaign. Every other Tuesday with Heck. We will be venturing through some sort of mythological time period, doing mythological things like good mythological creatures do. And then on every other Thursday, you'll find me here. In between that, you'll find me everywhere else. So throw a dart at the calendar and you're likely to find me there. Join the Discord. Have some fun. We have some good laughs. And also, that's it. That's all I've got. My brain kaputs right at that tail end. So back to you, Magic.
All right, and I'm that Magic Juice. I'm somehow in charge of this group / the shepherd of this lovely Clouder. It's great. We have a good time. This campaign, you'll see us all here every other Thursday. And then I also run another campaign on my own channel. It's twitch.tv / exactly as you see my name on the screen there. I run another campaign with another lovely group of people that is every other Sunday. And that's pretty much it. So on that, we're heading off. Hope you all have a good night. We'll catch you next time.